It's big 3-day, meaning that we're going to be looking at Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin in that order as well. And we're going to be looking at just higher term timeframes here, looking at this or continuing on with this ongoing thread of analysis that we've had for quite some time now that has been more or less actually the same for the past couple of weeks. But things are actually starting to emerge here, specifically for Solana and Ethereum actually are the more obvious ones as of right now. So looking at Solana, the name in question in front of us, we can actually start to bring up some of our indicators right here. We see that actually the weekly is going to have a potential to print some hidden bullish divergence for the first time in quite some time. The last time that we did see hidden bullish divergence did precede this actually pretty significant rally right here, a nearly 60% rally actually. Doesn't look like much on the charts, but well, I would argue that that is quite a fair bit. Anyways, this one is just 1 day away from, of course, confirming that is going to be on Sunday on closure. So basically we need to see Solana close here or higher. It would look significantly or a lot more obviously better if it did close above the 139-ish region. If it could close just right above 139, even if it's just 1 cent above, that would be the next sort of big one for me on Sunday, specifically confirming this hidden bullish evidence right here, and essentially just performing yet another bounce off of this, I don't know, what do you want to call it? The blue box of peace and prosperity, which it has found, nice bounces off of once, twice, thrice, maybe even 4 times here, is going to be the charm. On top of that, if we go ahead and look at our stochastic momentum charts, which I'll bring you back to just regular candles right here, we can see that also if Solana can close above about 138 and a quarter, which is very close to right now, and of course, if it were to close above 139, this would be fulfilled as well, then we will see weekly stochastic momentum also turn up. And that is going to be, I believe, in combination with the 5-day time frame around the same pivot, the 2-day time frame, which is already in the process of turning up as long as this one's above about 131, and the daily, which of course already is significantly up as of right now. So, likely proceeding the next sort of bounce, if you will, but this can take a little bit more time to emerge. Again, when we're thinking about timing, I still want to bring Bitcoin into the equation as well. And as far as timing goes, it's really that sort of last portion of September where things typically start to turn around, around the quad witching date, which is actually going to be at the end of this next week. So sometimes come a little bit before, sometimes a little bit later, but around this time is when we should be looking for, a nice upside move for Bitcoin, getting close. But, in the short term, could Solana, I don't know, maybe come back down and do, one of these and kind of continue to kind of snake its way out? Sure. Yeah. I don't know how useful that is to many people out there, but ultimately the same, the analysis would be the same more or less. And I also want to point out that this one is, or seeming to bounce off of the same trendline regression that we pointed out over here on the 5-day time frame, which has actually held up the lows since December of 2022, connected with the major lows in September of 2023 before like the last mega rally. And then again, over here in the summer. So, does it come back down and test it again? I mean, it is testing it right now. Does it turn up on this, on this trend line? If it does, really good indication that it will very likely salvage itself here. Just the question to me is like, hey, does it come back down, maybe setting like another slightly higher low right here, kind of scare people yet again, and then grind its way out? These specifics, I don't have, I don't know. No one fucking knows, right? But at the end of the day, what we do know is that this weekly closure, if it can be above 139, that would be really, 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 really obvious for, getting the next sort of upside move within the overall context of, one massive range. So it doesn't really do too much for the range, but obviously what would start to change around on the range if you did see a trade just a tick above this last sort of rejective swing high that we did see on the weekly right here at about 163 above there. It's going to be hard to argue that this is bearish, even for some of the more permanent perma bears out there in the world. Moving on from there, let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, definitely the weakest of the three and has been for quite some time. We were looking for yet another retest somewhere within this region right here in the blue box of peace and prosperity, and bring these back. And we have gotten that again this week. But with that test, I believe that there is going to be potential, or potentially potential. Yes, there will be potential for bullish divergence here, actually. Let me just bring up my nice little brush. We see this low right here and this low right here, printing higher lows on the RSI, and it was slightly lower lows on price action. Now, these are not confirmed lows just yet, so you can't really compare them like to like just yet. But if we do start to see Ethereum close the next 5-day time frame above about I mean, very close to where it's at right now, about 24.20, then that will be confirmed as a local low, and very likely we do see this one try a little bit higher before anything else, maybe somewhere around 26, 2,700 bucks. I mean, again, these are tight ranges here, but it doesn't really. I don't know if that does a whole hell of a lot for people, but we can see that overall, this area right here is really starting to shape itself off of as likely a low. We are starting to see momentum oscillators like the Jewel, if I can bring it up right here, are starting to lose their momentum to the downside. Same thing on the 5-day and weekly. Daily time frame is already obviously up. So again, the question of my mind, similar to Solana, is does it pop up here, come back, swing down for one more higher low, and then make its move, or does it just happen from here? Again, we have this next week of price action until the what's it called, the quad witching date does happen. So I would be aware that is a possibility here, but overall should be an opportunity, especially when we go to this chart over here, which we were referencing quite a fair bit over the past month, probably 2 months now, actually. And we are starting to finally see the weekly stochastic oscillator all the way down around the critical zone and potentially about to turn up as soon as Sunday night's closure, which if it closes anywhere above 2360, it will actually playing out a trendline regression right here, which has been governing the last few lows since actually December, again, of 2022, connected with the lows of basically a year ago in October of 2023, and then perhaps even the lows over here. This would be in September for 2024, obviously. So these would be rather significant, I would argue. And again, the question to me is like, does it maybe grind out this area one more time? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But overall, there should be a bounce emerging from this region, whether it just kind of shoots up from where it is right now, or maybe swings back down for one more slight retest. And we should see a retest on a rally somewhere around 2,700 or so. Again, the same sort of area for Solana as would be Ethereum for like just making it, it's like, this is fucking bullish. There's no major concerns here. Although it is still probably weaker option, would be back above about $3,000 around that 618 Fibonacci retracement right there. And then that's where, even then, still trend is actually not in your favor. I want to see like a weekly higher high, which is actually all the way at 3,500. But I do think, if I could be as premature as possible, that would be around the area where I'd say, hey, yeah, this one's probably going to fall through. And at that point, you're probably already seeing Solana above its major pivot right here. And you're probably going to see Bitcoin above its major pivot, which is this last weekly swing high, somewhere around $64,000. So, those things are going to be a lot more obvious. And then you can just kind of transfer that onto Ethereum, and Ethereum will kind of follow at maybe a snail's pace, but hopefully it catches up at some point this cycle, because it has been definitely a laggard. I'll leave you with Bitcoin. Bitcoin last one for this week. CME did close actually above the 50% retracement right here, or sorry, not 50% retracement, but 50% level on the HPDR. So I would be looking at this as an indication that this is putting in a weekly low right here. If we go over to spot price action, we can see kind of the same thing. I would like to see it officially close this week above the 50% level on spot, which is actually all the way at 60,900, kind of the high of this one already almost. 60,800 if it did. That would look a lot more obvious. But, the most obvious thing for Bitcoin, similar to Solana and Ethereum, would be just back above this last little swing high right here. At that point, bears are not going to really have like any sort of strong case anymore. You're not going to have structure. You're not going to have timing. Timing was a big one at least for myself on this channel. Because, we're already basically at the halfway point of September, and, what's another week till the quad witching date? I mean, at that point, you got quad witching date, which is more likely to be positive time. Then you got October, which is also more likely to be positive time. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to make a bearish case at that point. The best bearish case that I've been making for the past couple of weeks here is mostly based off a time analysis for Bitcoin in the first half of September, and that was correct right here on the lows. But since then, Bitcoin's been digging its way out, so it is starting to look better and better. Again, 50% level right here at 60,800. If they could just close above there at the end of this weekly, that would be the next sort of major key that I would be expecting. 5-day time frame, same shit as well, basically. Anyways, do you have anything else for Bitcoin? I did want to update on this this 5 exponential strategy right here. We got another entry. This was back on over Monday on the 9th, so actually earlier this past week. And well, just kind of watching this one do its thing. For the people who are asking for updates on this strategy, you're just following this strategy. Again, it's a pretty fucking simple one. Bitcoin closed above the 5 exponential on the daily time frame. It opens. When it closed below, it closes. That is what it is. That's all that it is, really. So in this case, this one is going to stay open at least for today or the next couple days, as long as Bitcoin's above about $59,000. So we'll end things on that note, and we will prepare for probably the most important next week of price action. I believe FOMC is coming in, and then you got that quad witching date. So that's really what I've been waiting for the past, it seems like a month now, and things starting to seem to turn around the right times. So just would like to see Bitcoin, especially remain above about $60,000 throughout this next week of price action. Anyways, that is going to do it for me. I'll be signing off. Again, I am actually recording this video a little bit in advance because I'm traveling today. So if you are viewing this in the future, I wish you well. Also, I'm probably not at my computer. So if you're trying to contact me, if you're trying to email Elsa, we're not going to be there for the time being. We will have internet access around about probably Sunday night, early Monday morning, something like that. And we'll do our best to get back to you at that time. Anyways, I'll sign off on that note. As always, wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.